And then a guy we haven't even mentioned is Shake Milton.
Yeah.
So is he like, obviously we talked about Isaiah Joe not being quite in the rotation very much. What do you think? Like, we've talked about it a long time ago. We talked about it, and you said that you think that if there is one player on this team like with an attitude, it is Shake Milton, kind of with that like a little bit of a diva in him,
Yeah.
which is interesting because of like his track as an NBA player thus far. But what do you see? What do you expect from him, not only on the court, but just his attitude of potentially not being in the rotations early on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to attack him by any means
No, no,
and
no.
nothing like that, but I do think he has kind of a little bit of the loser attitude on the team. If everything, just kind of the hands up, the
Yeah.
looks, the throw the head back, that kind of stuff. He kind of flashes. First off, if there does need to be a sweetener in any sort of Simmons deal, Shake's the first guy I'm going to and reaching in the pocket to dig out for this, because just like we're not as starved for his skill set as we once were, and I think Tyrese Maxey is everything Shake Milton is and more, and to me, that's enough reason. I have enough belief in him that he should be taking any minutes that were previously Shake's. As far as if he is around, and say the trade is that ends up happening is just Simmons for something, and that's all the Sixers give up. I think he's behind Maxey. I think Maxey probably, if Maxey starts, which I know there's so many layers here trying to hammer it down, but say Maxey's the starter, Shake's probably your number one guy off the bench for him, and they do have a similar skill set in that. I think Maxey, even though he's still developing in this area, he's a better creator for others. And Shake's much more of an. They're both a little bit of isolation, just get a bucket on their own, but Shake more so in my mind. Maxey at least seems to have the flashes of growth in this area. The best case scenario for Shake is when all he has to do is just come in and score and just do his thing and be that. So trying to pigeonhole him into kind of a point guard kind of role doesn't necessarily work. I also don't think it worked as great playing him with George Hill, which I know was the big thought process of moving him off ball last year and one of the motivators for that trade. But frankly, I didn't see enough there. And I think more of that falls on George Hill than Shake, just because he just simply didn't have as much left in the tank as we were hoping. But he is a guy in my mind. I think Doc likes him, but he's a guy in my mind that I think should be getting his minutes cut more so than anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. George Hill was definitely a disappointment, man. I was excited for him. I thought that he was going to be a much better player than he turned out to be. He was
Yeah.
just very like nothing exciting. I mean, not that he's ever been an exciting player, but he normally did everything like well. And it was just kind of like he did everything like at best he was average at the things that he did. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about Shake. Like we would be laughing at ourselves going back and listening, a year and a half ago to what we were saying about Shake during our first like 15 episodes of this podcast. We would be chuckling at ourselves because
Yeah.
we really did think, and I was right there with you. Like we were all on board on the Shake Milton train. But I mean, I think there's definitely like the thing about Shake is that there's things left to be like more to be desired from Shake. Like he's shown so many different times that there is a very strong, good, skilled NBA player in him. But then there's times where it's just like so bad. Like he was really on track to be the sixth man of the year,
Yeah.
and then just went through a stretch where he was awful. Like you can't play Shake Milton. He's not able to be on the floor. And I think he does get wrapped up in his own game a lot. I think a lot of times he's focused on himself, and maybe that's what he's put in there for, and maybe that's what they think his job is to, all right, Shake, go get yours.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen that be like kind of how they play him in that type of role, but like he's not Jordan Clarkson. So taking the shots that he takes sometimes
Yeah.
and them being like bad and ruining the flow of the offense and hurting the team in the process is something that you just can't deal with. Where like if you're talking about Maxey, you're talking about Isaiah Joe, or you're talking about really any of the other guards that are going to be out in front of him. They might not give you as much upside as a scorer, but they definitely don't give you the downside that Shake Milton gives you. So like you said, I think it's clear that he's probably going to be the odd one out alongside Isaiah Joe maybe.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what they do with him. Like what do you just let him sit there?
Well, and to be fair to Shake, like there's certainly been games that he is borderline
He's
one
won
for this
with.
team,
Yeah.
and you think about that one playoff game where he was literally out of the rotation, and Doc just kind of threw him in. It's just kind of something from his back pocket, and he was the first bench scoring points of the game for that, and led the team. That was in the third quarter of the game, and he was the first bench scoring points, which is so depressing. But like without him, we probably don't win that game, and we're probably feeling even more sour about the offseason right now. But I don't know. It's interesting. I feel bad for him in a way. He still is. If I'm another team, I think he's a guy that I would be targeting just because he has one of the best contracts in the NBA with a little over $1 million a year. That's phenomenal value for what his skill set brings and what he can provide to a team. And given a different, if Maxey wasn't on this team, I think we would still be talking ourselves into how good Shake is and trying to hype him up as a significant part of the rotation. And frankly, I still think he can be like a bench contributor and be good somewhere. I just think he's a notch below what we need and what we have in Maxey. And frankly, it's not his fault for why he's out, but I don't think he belongs with the same kind of territory that he has for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's I mean, that's the NBA for you though. Like he had an opportunity, the opportunity kind of went with him, and then like now we're in a position where Maxey is definitely a more desirable player. Matisse is definitely a more desirable player. He can't like, and then that's where it stops. You know what I mean? Like Shea can really only play the two at this point. Like he needs the ball in his hands to be productive. Otherwise, he's just kind of a shell.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, like he can't be a point guard, so you can't put him anywhere else but like the two guard. So if you're behind at this point, like Curry, Green, Maxi, Isaiah Joe, and Matisse and Furkan, maybe like they're just
It's a lot.
there's too many bodies. There's too many bodies, and a lot of guys that do things that he doesn't do, and a lot of things that he can't do that other people do. So like I feel bad for him because I like Shake and I've liked watching him grow, but I like maybe it is time just to see him elsewhere and see if he can like on a team that needs something, like I don't know, if you send him to freaking New Orleans or something, like a team that just needs someone to do something. He's gonna be a good piece somewhere, and I think maybe it's better suited for the Sixers to make a move like that.